Hi, this is Deva Meera Das, again here with a vision to create a world full of happy families and a mission to train 1 million couples to fight clean and to establish strong, loving relationships. Once upon a time, there were a couple, and the husband had a big function where, you'll be surprised, he wanted to cook a particular vegetable, and to be precise, a vegetable with spinach and cream and cottage cheese. And he wanted to prepare this nice, tasty, yummy vegetable, spinach, and take it with him to his meeting or function and give it to all his colleagues. And he was looking forward to it. And we can imagine, he was very excited and very enthusiastic. And needless to say, he was not an expert cook because not regularly cooking. But he knew and he liked to cook. So he found out a great recipe. He printed out the recipe. The day before he was to cook, he did a trial run. He prepared the vegetable in a smaller quantity and it turned out wonderful, and he followed the recipe to the point, to the core, and the final day comes and he has to cook in the larger quantity. And now the recipe required that the stems of the spinach leaf had to be removed. So now he gets the whole thing washed. The entire large quantity of spinach is washed and it is put to dry, and it is dried and it's clean. And then he requests his wife that by the time he prepares the different masalas and seasonings, the wife may just clip the stems. So the wife does it, but not the entire stem. She leaves quite a lot of the stem still there in the leaf. Now the husband is in great anxiety. And immediately anger takes control over him. And he becomes angry. You're supposed to cut off the stem. And the wife says, Arey, what if some little stem is there? The husband, oh, this is not little, this has to be removed. And now there is no time. The stem cannot be entirely removed. And for the husband, this spoils his own plan. And he's dejected and angry and frustrated and irritated all at the same time. He tells the wife, the recipe demands the stem should be removed. The wife says, Arey, so what? Why do you have to follow the recipe to the core? She's an expert cook, no doubt. And the husband becomes more angry that the wife is not ready to accept the straightforward recipe, what is given in the recipe. He says, I want to follow the recipe, it is so straightforward. Why can't you get this such a simple thing? And the wife says, Arey, why do you have to follow the recipe to the core? And there is a conflict. Both are very upset. Both speak to each other some words which are not so loving. Finally, whatever, they howl and shout and they go through the whole thing, and the vegetable is made, and whether it is not made as it turned out in the trial run because the quantity was bigger, not because of the stem. And anyway, the whole thing gets over. What do you think is the problem here? What is the issue here? The husband is frustrated that it's such a straightforward thing. We are following a recipe. We decided that we'll follow a recipe. And at the last moment, you are doing some change in the recipe, which according to the wife is not a major change at all. But according to the husband, who's not experienced in cooking, and especially in a big quantity, it's a big deal for him. At this instance, one should realize when one feels that a straightforward thing my spouse cannot understand, straightforward, such a simple straightforward thing my spouse is not able to understand. And the spouse, according to one person, is acting adamant to such a straightforward thing. At that point, one has to go within and check whether knowingly or unknowingly the partner, who is the so-called victim here, has ever acted in this manner with his wife or the other spouse? Has he or she ever behaved in the same way before, knowingly or unknowingly? Mostly unknowingly. And now at this situation, the wife or the other spouse is taking an opportunity to get back and show you that, see, if you don't accept such a straightforward thing, how bad you feel. Tit for tat. There are so many things which we have spoken. Victim, perpetrator, tit for tat, frustration. There's so many things involved here. But the key, cool down. The first thing is always a pause, cool down. Then start communicating with your wife or your partner to understand why they acted in that way. Have they ever, your query should be, have I ever behaved in such a way with you before? Have I ever done something like this with you before unknowingly? I would like to know. Communication definitely is one of the most important things. There are different skills of communication which we need to learn. XYZ statements, and there are so many skills which we have. You can look up and you can find out. There are so many skills. But the first thing is to go within. Have I ever done such a thing with my partner? So before seeking to be understood, we should be ready to understand. Want to know more? Learn more? Join my WhatsApp community, Couples Fight Clean community. Thanks.